Hey y'all, thank you for tuning in to Money January is what I've been calling it. Y'all, I have some phenomenal guests that are lined up for this month, and this queen that's sitting to whatever it would be, y'all left, y'all right, but sitting next to me is a phenomenal individual, and I've known her for 10 plus years, and she's just a dope human being, a God-fearing woman, and she's all about her money when it comes to finances. So I want her to introduce herself, let her know who she is and the things that she got going on and some fun things. So let the people know who you are.
Yes, my name is Naitoh Kai. By trade or by day, I am an educator. I teach 8th grade ELA or English. But I do a lot of things. My business that I'm focusing right now is financial coaching. So I help people really understand their relationship with money, and also, like, you can't do that before you get into the things of money. So you have to understand your relationship with money before you can do things like create a spending plan and a savings plan and things like that. So that's my primary focus. I want young professionals to feel empowered and encouraged to be in control of their money. And with money, you can do all things with Christ.
Healthy spending habits, sis, okay? Don't buy that Birkin if you can't afford it. Okay.
Even what? Nah, we not buying Birkins if we going broke. Like,
okay, listen, I ain't saving to buy a Birkin now, but nah. So how can we find you? If I was sitting here watching this, how can we find more information? Where do we find you? What social media platforms are you on? All that good stuff.
Yeah. So you can find me on all social media platforms at Kai Financial Coaching. That's KAI Financial Coaching. Hit me up, send me a DM.
Slide so not in that way. Slide the DMs about a business inquiry.
Right. If it's not about money, we're not
doing that. That's it. That's all, y'all. Only about money. Period.
Yes.
But yeah, so listen, tell me a little bit about your business in depth and like where the concept and the ideas came for you.
Yeah, well, I think for me it was kind of like a different route. I know some people are like, oh, they wanted to do this forever. This is something that they're super passionate about. I am passionate about it, but I honestly was just tired of doing hard labor. Like, I braid hair. I stand up for hours braiding hair. By the time I'm done, I'm exhausted. I'm tired. It's good money, but like, nah. I also make waist beads, and that also it's time consuming. And I was just sitting down one day and I was just like, you know what? I'm sick of making money by doing hard labor, and I want to have conversations with people and make money. So what can I do that's going to bring in income where I'm just helping people figure out their money? And I'm like, I'm passionate about that. So I was like, okay, we're gonna try out financial coaching.
Absolutely. Listen, when I tell you there is so much you can learn from a financial coach. A lot of people think like, I don't need no financial coach, but there's things that a lot of people do not know. And we'll talk about a little bit more in depth, but me personally, I had a financial coach. That's how I learned the things that I learned. Mm-hmm. And it was because of what she was showing me when I was trying to figure out my life. I had some bad stuff. I was not doing good. But yeah, so tell me a little bit about the relationship you had growing up with money that kind of inspired this whole ordeal, or maybe it influenced you to change your habits. So tell me a little about
that. So growing up, I grew up an only child. It was just me and my mom. And she came up here from Liberia. And when you talk about a traditional African woman that came here to give better opportunities to her family, that is my mother. Okay, so I grew up seeing her work very, very, very hard. I never wanted for anything. Like, I didn't feel like we were poor growing up or anything, but we're definitely lower income. So when I think about my relationship with money and what I learned, is just that, like, if I want something, I have to work hard for it. Growing up, that definitely showed up in college. Like, I never just had one job. I always had multiple jobs. Look, when I tell you I was a workaholic in college, so I definitely developed that from my mother. But then after college, I was just like, I don't want to work this hard no more. Like, I need to get smarter with my money. So I think that was a change that like switched in me when I graduated, and I just realized that like this isn't the life. Like, I think there's a difference between like working super hard and like working smart, you know. So I
Absolutely.
definitely I'm trying to work smarter now.
Okay, listen, work smarter, not harder.
Exactly.
Smart, strategic. So what kind of so you said about you growing up and the different things that your mom instilled in you, and then your habits inspired you to just change them. So like what inspired you to kind of start your business as a financial coach? Was it like, all right, look, you changed your own personal lifestyle, but what inspired you to apply that lifestyle to others and the business aspect?
Yeah, so once I got my first big girl job in college, I was just going through the motions. I thought you make money, you pay bills, and that was it to life. Like, I wouldn't have no money left over after, each paycheck. So I remember one of my friends had hit me up, and that's when I was like just getting started into traveling and stuff. And she hit me up. She was like, "Hey, we're going on a cruise. Um, there's a spot open, you should come." And it was like super late. It was like a month or so before the cruise.
Wow.
And I was like, where am I about to find all this money from? Like, I don't know, but I really want to go. So I went to the bank and I was like, hey, I don't know nothing about money, nothing about budgets. Like, teach me so I can go on this trip. And the banker sat down with me and he was like, okay, like, here's a strategy that you can use to get your finances right so you can go on this trip. So I took his strategy and I tweaked it to make it work for me because he was a white man with money. And I'm a little brown girl, got my first job. I had to switch some things up. So I changed it to make it work, and I saved up that money and I was able to go on a trip. And then the travel bug was just in me. So I was able to take those same skills to go on more trips in the future. So that's what kind of like planted the seed. I take that same structure with anything else that I want to do, and I just name it, and I'm able to hit those goals. So,
Hey, listen, you need to help me because all I know how to do, I'm really good at balancing my finances. Like I know what my leisure money is. I know what goes into my savings. I think I need to heighten it up a little bit more because I'm afraid to spend money. And a lot of times people are like, what do you mean you're afraid to spend money? I'll put money in my savings and I'll be like, oh, I want something, but I'm not going to take it out because I'm like, just in case. I'm a old soul. You gotta keep your money in your account, girl, just in case of rainy day.
Yeah.
Mama, I'm going to have $1 billion in my account talking about just in case of rainy day.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, but there's ways to address that. So,
well, help me. All right, so this without giving it too much. How would you help a client like myself who just don't want to spend? I'm cheap. Like I'm like Chris Father on Everybody Hates Chris. I'm that cheap. I'm like
Mr. Krabs and all of them.
I'm like, if I could save 10 cents, I'm Jason Pitts. Okay, that's me.
Okay.
How would you help me in my scenario, in my case?
Yeah, I think the first thing, besides the whole mindset thing, because that's where you have to get rooted. So once we get beyond the mindset stuff and you understand your money, the next thing is separating those accounts. I know that people separate their accounts for like bills and spending and leisure and things like that. That's perfect, but you also want to separate your savings accounts. So you have that rainy day fund, but you also have a saving for a trip or savings for like, I want to be able to buy me something super nice one day and I'm going to set a goal.
And when she gonna help y'all figure that out, because I sure ain't. Because listen, I said savings for a trip. Okay.
Hey, okay. After COVID,
you're talking about something. You dropped some gems there because I was like, okay, I got a savings account, but I need savings account. Okay.
Yes. Plural.
Noted for me. Thank you for that free gem. I appreciate it. I'll send you $1 for your services on this one. I'm just playing. But how do you kept talking about I was doing research on you about your business and you talk about healthy spending habits. How do you develop healthy spending habits?
Yeah, I'm going to keep going back to this because it is all about your mindset. Like, if your mind is not healthy, like it's going to be very hard for you to like accomplish everything else. So for me, healthy spending habits is understanding your money. Like, I think, and I noticed this about myself, right before I became a financial coach, I hit a really hard time. I hit like rock bottom. I'm talking, we get real.
Yep.
My bank account was negative. Okay.
Ooh,
like it was that bad. And I think what I went through was, and you know, people deal with things differently. So for me, I avoid. Okay. If there's conflict, I avoid. So like these things were happening. My financial health wasn't there. I just avoided it until like I got sick of the bills collectors and I got sick. People say like when you want to change, you'll get tired of yourself and that'll make you change. And I think that's what happened for me. But once I got into a better place, I was able to finally face it. And boy, was it uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm a Libra. I don't like being uncomfortable. I like everything is about balance and harmony and peace. And that wasn't there. So once I was finally able to handle that, I just started tackling it. And I think part of those healthy financial like wellness and things, you have to be able to face those things first. Mm-hmm. So once you're able to face those things, calling the bill collectors, answering, figuring out a plan. The most important thing is you have to communicate with them. Let them know what's going on. Hey, I'm not working right now. They will make a plan with you. As much as we think, you know, they're just out to get our money. So facing the problem faced on and then making a plan. Like if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. You're planning to fail. So coming up with a plan that's actually, go ahead.
Make a plan with you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so making a plan and that's also realistic because we be like getting super hyped up and like, oh, I'm gonna do this and this and this, and you'd be like, bro, you don't even.
Not gonna happen. It has to be realistic. That is probably, of course, everything you said was very beneficial, but that right there is the gem that a lot of people miss. You say you want to do all these things, you possess the discipline, but you don't make it realistic to your lifestyle. Like it has to make sense for your lifestyle, or you're gonna find yourself either getting overwhelmed or feeling defeated because you didn't live up to this expectation that wasn't realistic for you.
Exactly. Yeah. People set these goals that are just like, oh, and then you wonder why like you only stay motivated for so long. Like you're not making things realistic for you. So yeah.
It's to why you need a financial coach. They'll make it realistic. Just to give y'all a breakdown, and this is some of the services that I know that she provides, which she's going to talk about it, but she helps develop not only healthy spending habits, but budgeting, savings. All those things are essential to developing a healthy spending habit plan, in my opinion. And I know that's something that she does phenomenal. So if that's what you're missing and you need that discipline, this is a free promo for my girl sitting right here. No, like reach out to her because she will help you balance that out. And it just kind of gives you that peace of mind on not having to worry about doing it yourself. All right?
Yeah.
That's free for y'all. All right. Y'all ain't even got to pay to listen to that one. That's a free one. Just go ahead and take a contact information. That's going to be in the But yeah, so now one big thing that I've recognized with us, our generation, is that we don't save at all. We have the worst. If you look at the statistics of what it says about the millennials and Generation X, we just spend. We do not save. So what would you say would be some tips to developing like a savings plan? Like, what does that look like? If I had a check, how would you help me without giving too much? How would you help me figure out how to develop a savings plan?
Yeah, I think the first thing is you have to understand like how much money you're bringing in, but also what your bills are. Like, if I were to ask you what number like is your what dollar amount is your bills at the end of the month, you should be able to give me that number off top. You shouldn't be, oh wait, let me see. Well, I got this. No, I need to know that number.
Just a second. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. You need to know that number, because then things are just so much more clear. And I'm not just talking bills, I'm talking about everything that you spend your money on. So food, gas, spending. If you like to get your nails and your hair, you should know these numbers. Okay, so once you know that, you know how much money you have left over to save for whatever you want to do. So after you get that set, then you also have to make a goal for what you want to save. Okay, you can't. I don't believe in just saving money just to save money. There has to be a purpose, because then we have that whole thing where it's like, well, I don't want to touch it because I don't know what it's for.
I don't know what I'm gonna need it for. That's me, y'all.
Exactly.
I don't know if my car gonna blow out.
Exactly. So then you have to set a goal, and then sticking to that goal. That's the hard part.
Ooh, that's the hard one. Sticking to it.
That's the hard part.
Dipping into it too. Like, don't just get a savings account just cause. Like,
exactly.
And I'm saying that to me out loud to them. I do. I'll be like, I'll get it back.
Look, this is what we always tell ourselves, but do we?
No.
Exactly.
That's why I stopped dipping into it, people.
But I think what also helps with that is if you already have a plan, then you should know where this money is coming from. Like, okay, let's say you're saving for this fund and your tire goes out. That emergency fund, that's a true emergency. That's where you go for that tire. So I think that will really help. Another tip, people know this. Look, okay.
Probably not. But it's enough for your DMs about to open up, I bet. I could tell by your facial expression. People know this, they probably don't.
Yeah. Well, okay, so high interest savings accounts. They're better than just having your money sitting in a regular savings account. Basically, the interest is a little bit higher, so that your money is growing as they're sitting in these accounts, right? So
that's all for y'all. She ain't saying nothing else on that one, because I did know that. That means you need to pay to know that.
Okay.
If I don't know that, I'm the queen of research. I know that 99% of my listeners may not know this either. So if you would like to know and learn a lot more about high interest savings accounts, which we gonna talk about this when I get done recording. Okay? I was like, listen, look, let me go ahead and open up your Cash App right now. Listen, drop y'all suggestions of questions you have to ask her.
Instead of my name, can I just have my Cash App?
Okay, listen, her Cash App. Listen, I'm about to give her some offering. Where's my money at? No, so I'm for real. I said, when you just said high interest, you ain't saying nothing else, sis. Sorry.
Girl, yes.
I'm sorry, but not sorry. She's not saying nothing else, because that's a gem that I didn't know. And that says a lot for me as being a journalist. But so what are some services? If I was inquiring about your services, what would be some of the things that you tell me that you specialize in?
Yeah, so my biggest thing, and I'm going to preach this, is mindset. So the very few obviously the first session that we have is a consultation. We have to make sure that we're the right fit, that I am who you're looking for. Because I think financial coaching is a newer field that's developing, and I think people have different ideas of what that is. So after the consultation, if we are a good fit, we spend quite a lot of time on just understanding your mindset, your relationship with money, just uncovering a lot of those habits that you might already have. Some may be healthy, some may not be healthy. And then from there, I'm a planner, y'all. I just love to organize things, and that's what I'm passionate about. So hey, I'm doing that for a living now, and I'm claiming it. Okay. So I want to organize your money, and I want to make sure that it works for you, that you have systems in place that are just easy to understand. Once you got your money straight, like everything else in life just is so much easier.
When you know, like something as simple, even though I don't have my separate savings plans, which you helped me with that one. Thank you. I'm gonna get another one. It's so it gives you a peace of mind. Like somebody, like for instance, my friends want to go to Chicago for New Year's, right? And some of my friends like, man, I got to see if when I get paid how much money. I'm like, oh, I can just dip into my savings because I have money for
Exactly.
something. And a lot of people don't have that. And I can always go somewhere. I'm like, oh, okay, you know what? I'm just going to spend. And I'll put it back. Like, I know how to build it back up.
Yeah.
And so now I know that I need to separate the emergency fund to the, okay, this is my fund if I want to do something. But it's so freeing to be like, yeah, I can go. It's like, you ain't got to check. Nope. What's the dates? I'm there.
People need to know their numbers, okay?
I literally had a conversation yesterday. And this is but my last little thing before, you give any more advice to all these dope people that will tune in. I had a conversation. It was like, broke down my bills from the T. I said, this is how much my bills are without rent significantly. This is what my car insurance is. This is what I spend on my leisure. And that's why I would love for you when I do this financial literacy series, like a seminar. I really want to bring in a lot of dope individuals just to teach people so they can tap in. Free gem for y'all. I am launching a financial literacy seminar. So those who are acquiring by service, you can pick on who you want. And these are the things that whatever area you like, you'll have access to them. So that's free.
Yeah, that's dope.
2020 happened in January because that's why I did financial literacy January for a reason. But I was talking to them about all the ways I do. Like, I know exactly how much leisure money I have, and my leisure money does not include my nails, my eyes, my hair, my hair. That's a bill. That's a bill, automatic. My leisure money is, if I want to go out to eat. And I even budget how much money I'm going to spend when I go out to eat. And I was telling this lady, she's like 50 something. She said, excuse me? I'm going to launch this series for you, sweetheart, because if you ain't budgeting what you're going out to eat, problem. Okay? I'm cheap.
Yes.
Okay, but no, so is there anything else you want to tell the beautiful people, ways to get in contact with you again? Definitely hit that up again so people know how to get in contact with you. But any tips, tricks on just trying to develop healthy saving habits, healthy spending habits, just a healthy lifestyle with that money, period?
Yeah. Well, how you can get in contact with me, Kai Financial Coaching on all platforms. Pretty straightforward. And then any last tips? I think, especially in this day and age, financial coaches are super, super important, especially if you are just like through transitions in your life. So if you're graduating high school, you're getting ready to go to college. Oh, if I would have had a financial coach before I went to college,
I wouldn't got that credit card.
I would be a millionaire already.
A millionaire.
Look, transitions from going from college to the working world, that would have been another huge investment. But it's just super important to understand your money. Once you get that foundation and you're able to understand these things, then you can go out and do anything. I specialize more in like the beginning stages. So, okay, I don't know where to start at all. Okay, let's sit down and make a plan, make your budget, your spending plan. And then there's also levels on top of that. So if you want to get into investments, if you want to also look into like credit repair and things like that. But you have to.
She's gonna give you the foundation. You can't talk about when it start getting into investments if you ain't managing your money right now.
You can't.
And that's why when I always tell people, like, now I'm in the phase of, okay, now I want to invest. Now I want to go into real estate. Now I want to look into stocks because I realize how to manage my money. Now I want my money to work for me.
Yes. See, it's levels to this.
It's levels. Okay? It's levels, y'all. Y'all just can't go in and say, I got $5,000, I'm going to invest it. No. Don't do that. You said yourself.
Please do not. Just give me the money.
Thank you. Give me the money because you're gonna invest that money not even knowing if it's, and you don't even did the research. Don't. That's for the next. Girl. Just to give y'all, Jim, the next person that we have is a phenomenal human being. I'm talking to him tonight to prep him for the show. He's gonna talk about investments and stocks. When I tell you, he gonna take off. So his name is PJ Hill. If you guys aren't familiar, he is a financial advisor. He is a phenomenal human being. So stay tuned. Follow this series, y'all. If you do not learn anything from this, I don't know what to tell you because you're messing up. And the crazy thing is, I might want to flip this. So PJ might not be next. I think Naitoh is going to be first. And then it's going to be Otis and PJ, but we're going to see. Whatever God leads me, just know that y'all going to get 4 phenomenal human beings. You're going to learn about how to build your, how to repair your credit, how to save, budget, healthy relationship with money, invest, real estate, whatever you name it, you'll get all these gems this month. And y'all tune in. Don't forget to, like, subscribe. What they say, hit the little bell on my YouTube.
All the things, girl.
No, seriously, y'all. And then also check out coming soon my merch, Too Dope to Be Labeled. All right, y'all see this?
Oh, I was trying to figure out what he said the whole time.
Too Dope to Be Labeled.
I need one in that color.
I got you, boo. I got you. January, listen, January.
I love that.
Coming soon, January. I'm dropping TalkNSpit merch and then also Too Dope to Be Labeled. Okay, y'all. So y'all hit me up on that. And this video today was brought to you by Mr. Stop, Drop, and Roll Vic's Egg Rolls that I'm about to in a little bit. But no, y'all always remember peace, love, happiness, and success. And I will talk to y'all later. Bye.